Unlike a work of literature, translation finds itself not in the center of the language forest, but on the outside, facing the wooded ridge. It calls into it without entering, aiming at the single spot where the echo is able to give, in its own language, the reverberation of the work in an alien one. And that basically means that a translation is not supposed to enter the essence of the original. It's not supposed to replicate it completely, but it's supposed to listen to the echo from the woods. It's supposed to listen to what this piece of literature is trying to produce. And now let's continue probing into this question of, can a piece of literary work or literature be translated at all? We've just spent the last 5 or 6 minutes talking about, how a translation could never reach the original, it can never replicate the original. So when a person's translating something, what are they actually doing? And to really understand that, we have to understand a bit of the history. History of translation can be summarized in the following statement. People who speak a lot of languages getting mad at one another. Or the same case can be illustrated with the following painting. What might initially sound like just a scattered shouting match actually has 2 pretty distinct and clear camps of people. The first camp of people are people who are completely faithful to the original work. They want to replicate the work, word by word. They want to pay attention to the syntax, the linguistic. They're kind of like prescriptivists. There's one best translation out there, and it's in the air. And everyone else's translations are simply not as good as the ideal translation. And their idea of translation is basically Google Translate before Google Translate. They want to replicate every single word. They want to get the word right. They want this perfect piece of translation out there to dominate the entire literary kingdom. And the second camp of people are people who consider a literary work to be a little bit more nuanced than just a collection of words. They basically think that there's something else, there's something beyond language that the work is trying to reach. And a task of translation is about grasping onto that, not onto the words. And from the standpoint of standing outside of the original, a real translation is transparent. It does not cover the original, does not block its light, but allows the pure language, as though reinforced by its own medium, to shine upon the original all the more fully.